Welcome to Lights, Lens, and Language. The sole purpose of this vlog is shameless self-promotion. However, as the title indicates, we'll also be talking about lights and lenses. At the beginning, I'm going to read you a story. That's where the language comes in. It's a little piece that I wrote. It will give you the opportunity, as I'm reading this, to look at the light setup and the camera positions and try to determine how it's done. At the end, we'll discuss it. Today's episode is called Lawn Darts Are for Sissies. While growing up in northern Florida, my brother and I would visit my grandparents' house frequently. They had what he and I considered at the time a large natural playground. 5 acres of land with a tree line surrounding it and farm fields, horse pastures, and wooded areas for us to explore. It was the best of times. We would wake in the morning, eat a breakfast of Rice Krispies and orange juice, pack a paper bag lunch, run our belts through the loops of our green plastic canteens filled with sweet tea, and not return until my grandmother rang the dinner bell that hung outside the back door. What we did during those long summer days varied depending on what caught our fancy. Some days we would play extreme no-touch-the-ground in the tree line. It ran about a mile from one end of the property through the next 3 neighbors' yards. Barbed wire was the only thing we had to span the gaps in the trees. We even had a special place that we stopped to eat our lunch. It was about halfway down the row behind Mac's house. Mac was the oldest kid on the block and had the coolest dog, the coolest bike, and the least seen of all the parents. When my brother and I would either succeed in our venture of the tree line or tire of it, we would find other things to amuse us and fill our time. We bought a lawn dart game from the general store in town once and played that by the rules for a while until we tired of its simplicity. So we spiced it up a bit. Instead of seeing if we could throw the darts into the plastic circles, we would see who could throw them the farthest. I'm 3 years older and would win most of the time, so to make it a more equitable challenge, we would amend the game again and throw them at each other. That didn't kill us, so we would venture on to other things. We would make homemade bows and arrows and shoot them at each other. Once, when we had a really good set of bows and arrows, we would shoot into the air to see how far up it would go. My brother would stand at one end of the field, and I would stand at the other. We would shoot an arrow back and forth as if we were leisurely throwing a baseball in the yard. I shot it too high on one occasion, and we both lost sight of it. My brother yelled, "Where did it go?" "I don't know," I screamed back, "but you better run." Oh, what fun that was. We would play reverse mumble-de-peg. Now, mumble-de-peg is when 2 people stand with their feet shoulder-width apart and throw pocket knives between their own feet. The one who gets it to stick the closest to their own foot wins. Now, reverse mumble-de-peg is when one person throws it at the other's feet, and if the other moves, he loses. But if he gets stuck in the foot, he wins. Of course. Who wants to get stabbed in the foot and lose? That's just silly. Then we hit the big time. BB guns. My brother had a BB pistol that held a cartridge of compressed air, and I had a pump rifle. The air cartridge in the pistol wasn't very powerful, so it just stung a little when he shot me, and if I only pumped my rifle once, it was equally painful. So, it was game on. 1 pump BB wars. There was no arguing over, "You missed me," or "I dodged that one," or "You ran out of bullets." This was real. We could see the BB and feel the sting and see the red dot on our skin from a hit. It was awesome. Except, you knew it was coming. Once I was hiding behind the corner of the house and lost sight of my brother, and he snuck around the other way behind me and got within just a few feet and ping right in the middle of the back. Boy, did that sting. I got mad and broke the 1-pump rule. Thock, 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 thock went the rifle as I pumped it up to its max, aimed at his leg because I only wanted to wound him, and pulled the trigger. Needless to say, it did more than leave a little red dot. His adult military x-rays prove it. There is a little white, unexplained foreign object near his kneecap on those official Army documents. But we all know what it is and whose fault it is. It's the manufacturers of lawn darts' fault for not making their game fun enough to hold our attention as kids. This was proven because in December of 1988, the United States outlawed the sale of this inept and boring excuse for a game. They said it was because it was dangerous, but I believe the real reason is because it's a gateway game. If kids tried lawn darts, then who knows what else they would get into as they got older. It's true, and I'm living proof that it can happen to anyone. That was Lawn Darts Are for Sissies. I hope you took the time to take a look at the setup, the lights, the shadows, and the cameras. Let's start with the camera. For the tight shot, I use a 7D Mark II with a 70-200 put on it. Now, it's shooting at 1080, So, because I can't read through this all at once without making any mistakes, I edit it on a 720 timeline and punch in for the edits. For the wide shot, I have a 5D Mark III with a 24-105 on it, obviously to show you the environment and the lights that we're using. For the audio, I'm using this microphone running into a Zoom H4n. Out of the headset port, I have a splitter running one cable into the 7D and one cable into the 5D Mark III to sync the audio in post. Let's talk about lights. At my right, we have a Viltrox 132T. It was purchased on Amazon for just over $35. The CRI value, which is the color rendering index, or the quality of the light, is at 95. So for this price, great light. 132 LED bulbs with an adjustable brightness and adjustable color temperature of 5600 to 3300. Daylight to tungsten. It has a Sony battery mount, or you can purchase an AC adapter. I added a little bit of Cinefoil by Roscoe. It's a light control aluminum wrap as a flag, just to keep a little bit of this key light from falling onto the background. Behind me is a Godox. It was also purchased from Amazon for just over $21. Its brightness is adjustable, and it uses 4 AA batteries, or you can purchase an AC adapter. I added some purple color gels on there, just to add some color to the background. To my left, your right, is a simple reflector. I have the silver on the outside to maximize the bounce, filling in the shadows on the left-hand side of my face. Next time we'll be doing a different lighting setup, using different lights, maybe a different environment, and definitely a different story. Thank you for joining me on Lights, Lens, and Language.